What's up, June? Hey, Bishop. Good morning. It is after midnight, 12:12 here, so maybe I can count this as Vlogmas. That's right, Rob. Vlogmas. Hold on. Getting ready to transition here. I haven't done all my stuff on auto, so I have to watch the music go out here. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, What's up, everybody? It is the 6th, right? All right, I've been out here. I did a live stream for about 45 minutes on YouTube. I haven't been live streaming to YouTube, so that was the first time. I don't have Restream yet to go to 2 platforms at once, and I'm kind of on the fence on if I want to do that. But I wanted to just share some, nobody watched on the YouTube channel because I don't have any followers. So I thought I would come in here, and it looks like I've got some people watching. So I just wanted to check in on everybody and see how Vlogmas was going. Yesterday was day 5 for me. That's 5 days straight, so everything's been working well. I'm also sitting up late, drinking a beer, streaming live. So there's that. And I wanted to share some stuff with everybody. I feel famous. That's right. I feel famous today. I've just kind of been kind of a schoolgirl crush on people sharing. I got mentioned today. I got mentioned by Doc Rock. Ready? Everybody watch this. Here we go.
Yeah.
One of my boys streams every day on the 2012 MacBook Pro, and the stream actually looks incredible because he's learned how to do it with still versus making it animated, but it still works. And then so to me, that's mind blowing. I would have told everybody, what, 5 years, done, out of here, move
Yeah.
on. But they're so nice.
Who was
Yeah,
that?
you.
Out of curious.
Brent Collins,
Okay.
like one of my insiders group, and I'm like, dude, you're killing me because I'm telling everybody get your machine better. He's like, but I do it on the 2012. I'm like, shut up, Brent.
So thanks, Doc Rock, for shouting me out on the Livestream Pro channel. I feel so excited. Glenn was there. I don't know Renee, but I'm gonna follow his channel because he has the looks like he's doing all the cool stuff. Yes, I am on Ecamm. Hopefully, thank you. It looks good. That was the whole joke of that video is I am on a 2012 MacBook Pro. I am streaming at 720p just because I forgot to set it to 1080. I'd had some issues with my wireless adapter. No, I had a I wish I was watching it live. I missed it too. So Tech TV. So that was a good crowd. I didn't know that. So what happened is like I said, I have an old MacBook. It only has 8 gigs of RAM in it. I've had it forever. When I did Big Sur, it killed my Ethernet port. I had a USB to Ethernet adapter. Took me about 2 days to find how to fix that, which I finally did fix it. You had to go in to the terminal and you had to run some script, which I don't like doing all that stuff because I'm not that knowledgeable, but I got it fixed. So now that I'm back on an Ethernet faster cable, I probably could go back to 1080. I don't run a lot of animated stuff. I don't run overlay like stream elements and stuff like that. It can't handle it. I stream some video game content off of a PC, which let me see. I have my PC up here. So one thing listening to Glenn talk about, he said that Ecamm is not very RAM intensive, and running all the other devices off of the computer and off the Mac and going into the Mac just as a source helps it. So I think that's why I'm doing well, is because I got my audio going through an analog audio deck. It's all going through XLR to Panasonic, more of a professional studio grade camera that has XLR inputs, and then all that's going to HDMI. So really the only thing that Ecamm is seeing is my HDMI. So let me see if I can add this real quick. But when I get a loop, see, that's what I hate about Ecamm. That's the only thing I don't like. I can't add a new scene on the fly because, it goes to black. But what I did is I took, I edited out that part where he said, "Shut up, Brent. Shut up, Brent." So if I ever get a Rodecaster Pro or a Loop Deck or something like that, that's going to be on my buttons, right? Is Doc Rock telling me to shut up? But it was all in fun. I know. So that was fun. I was excited to see it. I would thank Doc for sharing it. I was watching one of his live streams, and he said, "Hey, Brent, I just mentioned you on that show." So I went back to watch it, and I was like kind of flabbergasted. I was like, thanks a lot. Funny thing is I'm showing my wife, and she's like, okay. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. I was excited. Let's see what else we can do here. Got to stretch this a little bit, right? So, let's see. I'll show you this. Let me go to my PC here, if I can make my connection work. Hold on. There it is. It's still working. So, we are a video family. My wife's a video producer, production. She's a shooter. We call her Shooter. She's a cinematographer. She's been doing it for years. She works in an ad agency. We had our ad agency together. So she's a journalism major in college. I was a fine art major in college, worked at the TV broadcast. My 10-year-old wants to be a gamer. I've done a couple streams with him, letting him use all my setup here to stream games, and he watches YouTube, so he knows all. And this is my daughter, who she's a singer. She just started a podcast for her school, which is the Central High School Tigers. If you ever heard of the Little Rock 9, that is Little Rock Central High School. So I'm very proud of her. She's trying to get, she's got a year left. She's going to be a senior next year. Trying to get those scholarships, but she's a singer, and we're trying to get singing scholarships. And we bug her every day to be like, do TikToks, get famous. And so I bought her some LED lights. We set up her room. We got podcasting equipment for her. And this is just a little clip that she shared today. I'll just let everybody listen here. And this is on TikTok. So I don't know if anybody's on TikTok. Oh, let's unmute it here.
They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Dear God, I know the one. Okay, I don't know the song well, so here we go. A house in New Orleans, they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Dear God, I know the one. Okay, I don't know the song well, so here we go.
So there it is. I'm going to share that later. I'm trying to get her some shares out there. So she's doing good. I told her, oh, thank you very much, Jason, that she is so good. Thank you. She does a great job. See you later, June. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for the open again. I'm using the hell out of it. So the bumps. I told her, so one of the things, she is not embarrassed. She is. She's hard to speak in front of people or sing in front of people. So we're trying to break that. She has done a podcast. She's doing really great at the podcast. And so we've been forcing her to do more and more and more. So I told her one of my Vlogmas is going to be with her so she can sing. And just to get her over that fear of performing and being in front of people. It's a fear I've never had. And my 10-year-old doesn't have it either. He'll sit there and he'll do his own gaming show. He watches too much YouTube. And, I just turn on the camera and he's like, "What's up, everybody? Welcome. Smash that like button." He's probably better at that part than I am. So that was it for today. I wasn't gonna hang too long. If anybody has, maybe I can show you guys a couple of things. One thing I did figure out today was finally, I've never tried it, so I did hook up my phone. Let me find, where did I set that up at? So there's my phone. I got this figured out. All right. And so what I'm doing, no, I'm not green screen, Jason. That is my backdrop. I know it's a little sparse right now. I've got some posters up there. Got some LED lights on the bottom. I put up some fake brick paneling. Let me go back to, let's go back to here. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see I put up some fake brick paneling. This is a shed behind my house. And it just looked, the green screen brick wall looked better than the fake brick wall. And like I said, my wife has done video production for years, and so me and her talked about it, and she said paint it white. And so I liked painting it white. I've got some gray on the walls. I'm trying to make some different setups. And then I need, it's all found stuff, right? So I had an old dresser over here There's some old Camry gear that I have. There's some boxes from the PC I just built. She bought me these posters from Hatch Print Show in Tennessee. That's Johnny Cash. Free beer over here for my beer show. This one says vote. Well, she was like, you put it right behind your head. You can't see it. But I got some other stuff I want to put. I need to get like a bookshelf and dress all that up. But, so let's talk about this real quick. I decided to do all of the Vlogmas on my iPhone. So I'm actually shooting all of this on my iPhone. And I'm editing it on my iPhone. And my iPhone just went to sleep. That's the only thing. All right. So this is LumaFusion. And so I'm actually shooting, editing, doing everything for my show, or for the Vlogmas parts, all on my iPhone. And so this was just some tests I was doing for.
I revisited this morning after I watched Doc's.
So I added the effects, I added the color grade, I added the vignette, I've added the titles, I uploaded my bumps, the opens, and it's all done on my phone. So, yep, LumaFusion, LumaFusion, Fusion, LumaFusion. I got it for $20 on the Apple Store. It's usually $30 or $40. If you, Jason, if you like, if you look up Henny the Business. Henny the Business is a gentleman on YouTube he's a music producer, and he does everything on an iPad. Now, he's like a Grammy-winning hip-hop beats and all that stuff, that he does it all on an iPad. And so I decided I was going to force myself to learn it and figure out how to use LumaFusion. And it's great. I mean, you can do... Say my phone went to sleep again. Sorry about that. It's the only thing about the phone. So you can see it's in vertical mode. There it's in portrait mode. Yes, Henny the Business. Check him out on YouTube. Here, I'll pull him up real quick. I can share. I have the power to do all that stuff, right? So Henny, WS, Henny the Business. Well, let's look him up here. He's one of my more favorite YouTubers because he does everything. Hey, what's up, Orlando? I watched your videos today. Those were great. You did a great job teaching the art classes, right? All right, so Henny the Business. Let's see. He basically makes beats. He does all kinds of stuff. I guess from what I can tell, he's a Grammy award-winning type of guy. Let's see if I can get back up here to my PC. I got 3 or 4 scenes set up here. So this is his YouTube channel. Turn this up a little bit. Let's see. Let me look through here and find some example of some of his. He does something called silent beat making. That is something he just started.
When Johnny said he needed an awesome new professional website, I offered to build him one with Elementor, the world's
Skip
leading.
ads. Here we go.
What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And listen, today I want to talk about the 5 iPad apps I would truly recommend for you getting started on your online brand using a mobile device. Organization, ideas.
So look up Henny the
app. I love
Business
to
and
be
watch his stuff.
one.
I
You
mean, he
know,
literally makes
this
all
is
of his
the app
beats,
that
and
is
he's,
truly
like I said, he's hired to fly around and make beats for people. He does it all on his iPad. Does all of his video production on his iPad. I think it's amazing. So I think that's really awesome. All right, so let's see. You're learning Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere for advanced stuff. Adobe Premiere is great. I've been using it forever. You do have a lot more control. But for stuff like vlogs and YouTube stuff, I think this one, LumaFusion's quick and fast and easy. Filmora, I haven't tried that. I'll take a look at it. All right, so Jason uses sorry, Jason uses Filmora too. And I see the YouTube channel. Is that your channel, Jason, that you're sharing there? It's in the comments so everybody can look at it. And I just watched Orlando stuff. Orlando's an artist. I'm going to assume you're in LA. I didn't look. But I know he teaches some Illustrator stuff, so I really enjoyed watching that because I studied fine art. I studied fine art and sculpture in college because I wanted to be a 3D animator, and there wasn't computers back then to do it. So, Henny's channel. Okay, thanks, Jason. That's Henny's channel. He's good. He's good to follow. So I learned traditional painting and sculpture, and then I got a job at the college I graduated from in marketing. I had to fastly learn, but then I took all my electives in TV, so I was a anchor for the college station, and I was able to take all of the TV courses without taking all the courses I didn't want. I kind of made my own degree, and I learned on reel-to-reel, like tape-to-tape editing, and then they had something, back then it was called NewTek Lightwave, which is the first kind of computer-integrated stuff. And then fast forward, I learned Final Cut Pro 7, or Final Cut Pro when it first came out. I taught myself that. Illustrator, Photoshop, all the stuff to make print stuff. And then an animator. Yes, animation, that's the ticket right now. There's so many different ways to do it. So I learned traditional art. I got into marketing and graphic design. I did that for a while. I had my own sign shop where I did vinyl cutting and sign making. And then I ended up going to work in TV and did I was a UPN 38. I don't know if you remember UPN 38 from back in the day. It was all pretty much Afro-American channel. I was a promotions producer for that. I learned how to edit, even the news. I started doing that. And then I was head of production for a large TV group that was all over the United States. We did everything from live TV to Univision News and all over the country, but we ran it all out of here in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I got really good at editing really fast. And so that's why stuff like Vlogmas is easier for me. I've done long format. I've done 40-hour film festivals. I've done, very creative stuff, high-end stuff, but I'm really good at the quick, down and dirty stuff. And let's see. My channel focuses more on my business as a virtual insurance agent. However, vlogs has helped me get more vlog style. Very good. Your son's 10. My son's 10 too, Jason. And we actually, he started making his own beats with some of those beat programs, and I was like trying to foster that because I think it's like, that's money. But animation, that's awesome too. Video game production. I was trying to tell my son he loves playing video games, and he takes karate. And I have a black belt in Aikido, but I didn't want to teach him. I wanted him to go to somewhere else, just to have that separation. And but he's really good with like swords and movements and making up stuff. And me and my wife were trying to tell him, like, there's people in the video game industry, mocap artists, that you could do all that, right? So I'm always trying to push my kids into the creative fields. Orlando, 2020, my focus will be showcasing my day-to-day activity, my journey, salesman, and content creator. It's all about the content right now. My day job is a marketing director for a credit union, and I do a live show once a week. I have this idea that if I ever leave, I will probably do just content creation for businesses. I kind of have an idea for that, to where basically you could do a vlog like the Vlogmas type style every day for any kind of business, because you could just be a personality, right? An influencer. And because it's hard for businesses to grasp that they have to have somebody, to pay somebody, have all the equipment. You could just show up and do that. So good to you, Orlando. Let's hear more about Jason. What are you doing, Jason? Are you doing the Vlogmas? What do you do? See, some other things you can look at. Look at Harris Heller. Look that up real quick. He has another good channel that I like to watch. He talks a lot about
That's a Chromebook with apps for whatever you need. For fun.
it's called Alpha Gaming is the name of that show. But he has a good show.
Building your business online takes effort.
Sorry.
And
I'm trying to do 3 or 4 things at once. My PC. Here we go. So this is Harris Heller.
when it's ready for the world to see, that's
Hey, before we get started, I found this new webcam, and check this out. It has cellular connectivity, so you can't actually. I think the most expensive one was the iPhone 7. It was about $100.
So he's a great show. It talks about lighting and a lot of different. He does some gaming content like I do. So he talks about overlays, and he's an OBS guy, which I just don't like OBS. I agree, Orlando. You love this group, and the only reason I'm on Ecamm is I had Wirecast years before, and I decided to play with Ecamm, and I just love the community. Everybody's helpful. It's just great. I love the community, and it's worth the $25. All right, your son also has his own YouTube, which is cool. All of your boys are into Minecraft. My son's into Minecraft, loves it. We just started letting him play Fortnite. He loves that as well, because we're on virtual learning because of COVID. That's kind of the only social interaction with his friends he gets is playing video games. And your son's is Nico TV. My son's is just James. Let's see if I can find that one. I think I have it kind of locked down. That's the hard part with kids, right? Is you're trying to figure out how to get them, how to support them. And we all know this is where it's going, right? I mean, we all know that this is the future for them. And it's just kind of hard to let go. And, you want to be safe and you want to do all this stuff. But one of the things that we do is he is in a program at school called GT, Gifted and Talented, and they've been doing cooking shows. So what we did here is James's. My wife shot this and edited this, but this was for his class. Let's see if we can.
Hey yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. And last time you guys saw me do trick or treat spider webs. But now, since it's going to be close to Thanksgiving, I'm going to be making a Thanksgiving fruit salad. Now, when you think of Thanksgiving, you're thinking of starchy, fat, full of calories, like, meal. And so this is really light and refreshing. It's just something healthy, and it's good. These are the things you are going to need. A chopping knife, curved with flat edge. Dicing knife, curved with curved edge. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to...
So the funny thing is this is all on the fly. I'll just speed through it. I have to watch his ending here. He makes all this stuff up as he goes.
My next video, make sure to enjoy this when you eat. And I'm taking this with me on the road.
So that was his video. He did a great job. We're proud of him. But like I said, his main entertainment is YouTube, and he watches people like Mr. Beast. And I'm super, super into video game culture and how it's changing advertising and marketing and influencer marketing. And there's a company called Night Media that basically has 5 or 6 creators, and one of their creators is Mr. Beast. If your kids are watching things like the Minecraft stuff, he's doing that kind of stuff. These guys are like top 30 Forbes. They're making millions and millions of dollars, but they also have a team of editors, a team of producers. The young man probably started out on his own and got famous, and then at some point to grow to that next level, you had to hire people to keep up with it. So it's crazy. And yes, Bishop, this community is great. It's the best part about it. And I love Bishop. You got to watch Bishop's channel. He does this cool animation with his iPhone. You know, the emoji following his movements and everything. That is so cool. I think that's the future. One of the things that I'm really, really into that I'm trying to learn a lot more about is virtual production. So if you watch The Mandalorian, a lot of that is just shot on a very small set with LED screens instead of a green screen. And it's all run by Unreal Engine, which is the same engine that they use to do a lot of video games. So video production, everything is changing. I mean, it's changing every day. I run a media mentorship in the public schools out here. Inspirational online videos. Awesome. Good job, Jason. Where are you at, Jason? What state? What city? I know there's another guy, James, that I watched during Vlogmas, and he's a special education teacher in L.A. I like watching his content, too. And it's been a challenge with COVID because I actually got asked to be in a parent round group live stream because trying to help other parents with technology and scheduling and how to work from home and raise your kids and do all the virtual stuff. So, and the video I just got through shooting was a volunteer video for our elementary school. So a friend of mine has a drone. We did some drone stuff. I put a commercial together for them so they can help promote the public school. So we're big public school advocates in our in our state. So that's awesome. Yeah, Jason, let us know where you're from. I'll check you out after we get off the stream. You know, this is the future. I don't know how to. I'm very bullish on media mentorship culinary program out here in Washington State. Culinary program. All right, so my wife and I had our own ad agency for about 10 years, and one of our biggest clients was it's a historic hotel. It's very well-to-do hotel with chefs, and so we've done a ton of cooking videos. We've done a ton of food videos. I've been to a lot of foodie events, wine dinners, and I love food, and video on the web is killer. So, you know, and I think one of the things that if part of Vlogmas is me trying to find my way at who am I as a creator, what can I bring to the table? I have a beer show about craft beer that I did about 10 years ago that I'm trying to relaunch. It was famous. I got semi-famous 8, 9, 10 years ago, but everything was so new back then, nobody really understood it. Even I didn't understand it. So I'm doing that just for fun. I do the video game show just for fun. But my passions are marketing and entrepreneurship and video production and streaming, because I do believe that this is streaming right now is the next back in the day, everybody had to have a Twitter. Back in the day, you had to have a Facebook. Right now, you got to be live streaming. And kids today are going to have to learn how to do a video interview, send in a demo reel, because people are going to want content creators. If you're a chef, I've worked with chefs that didn't want to be on TV, and they didn't want to be on videos for Facebook, and it just killed the whole. We just couldn't market them anymore. You have to be open to all this. So you have to be media savvy, and I think kids know it. Kids are all on the YouTube, and my kids are on TikTok. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. I've got a TikTok account that I play around with. It's really addictive to watch stuff, but I haven't really produced a lot of stuff out there. But you kind of got to be everywhere, and I guess the OG is always going to be YouTube for the search, but right now, like I said, I'm streaming to the Facebook to the Facebook group here because I know I got people there that will watch. Same thing, I started a video game channel. Let me see if I can find that real quick on Facebook. I'll show you guys that. And this is Big Daddy Gaming, and that's just me playing video games. I stream with Ecamm as I'm playing video games like Call of Duty, because I'm fascinated with what this has become, the amount of money that's going into esports. A good friend of mine is a, let's pull that up full screen.
Taking A.
Some bad audio there. But a friend of mine is the college coach for a local liberal arts college here called Hendrix. It's kind of a high-end college. He's the head coach. They have scholarships. There's scholarships for kids to play Smash Brothers. You believe that? Yeah. Jason, I'm passionate about homeschooling, individual curriculum, and learning. Dude, I hear you. More power to you. It's been... I really respect everybody in education because I'm here since March. I've been working from home. I have a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old, so 11th grade and 5th grade. We're doing Schoology, and it's what the thing that we're using. You know, they both have 3 or 4 Zoom meetings a day. I have a couple of Zoom meetings a day. You know, we're all in the same house. I'm trying to help them stay focused. We try to run it like a regular school day. The 17-year-old, we don't do anything to her. Is make sure she gets, remind her it's time to get up and check on her work. But we try to keep her autonomous just because she's going to be going to college soon. But my 10-year-old, we kind of have to stay on top of everything because it's hard for him. And a 2-hour Zoom meeting and I'm done. I'm ready to go take a nap. I have to go lay down for 15 minutes. It drains me. And he's doing 4 or 5 a day. We're all getting frustrated with each other. We all get snippy with each other. But they're doing a great job. Their grades are good. But I just, there's got to be a better way. With all this technology. So there's got to be a better way. I used to own stock in EA Sports when it was 60 per share. I should have. So, for sure, I should have not sold it. Can you FedEx me some beer? So here's the funny thing. I'll show this up here. Let me pull this up. I show this every night when people come on the stream, but it's a lot of fun. Hold on. We're going to look up... YouTube. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, everybody. Come on. Sometimes it's hard to find stuff on Facebook. Or YouTube, I'm sorry. Anyway, I did a beer show. Let's see if I can find it here. Here's a promo we did. Here, I'll show you this real quick. So I did this back in 2008. We had about 15, 20 episodes. We got sponsored. I got flown to the Great American Beer Festival. Everything. We thought everything was going to be. I thought this was going to be my life.
Beer, yes we love beer. We love beer, yes we do. Hi, I'm Brant, and this is Eric from BeerUtopia.com. If you like beer like we like beer, log on today, www.beerutopia.com. You can check our weekly videos where we do tastings of microbreweries from around the world. You can check out all the culture of beer, anything about home brewing, you name it. If it's about beer, it's on BeerUtopia.com. We love beer, yes we do. Hi, welcome to Beer Utopia, Louisiana. It's a #1 beer made in America.
I was young doing a beer show,
really
didn't know what I was doing.
It's a Turbo Dog is a dark brown.
And actually got, so when you said FedEx beer, I was actually getting UPS deliveries every day from beer across the United States. So that was pretty cool. No Zoom meetings, all self-driven. Jason says he's transitioning my kids back into homeschooling. My middle child already created curriculum the other day. That's awesome, Jason. It's awesome. Have you been YouTube since 2008? I have been since 2008, but let's see. I kind of hid my personal channel. Let's see. I'll go back and look at it here. So I had changed the name to kind of hide. This is so old. The stuff that I did, because YouTube was new. I was working in TV, so let's go to the PC here. Yeah, I tried to start an internet television station. Gary Vaynerchuk. So I started Beer Utopia the same time Gary Vaynerchuk started, and I used to talk back and forth with him, and I got upset with him because he wouldn't share my website, and that made me mad because he was like, "Oh, I don't have to share your stuff. I'm famous." But then he got all crazy. So now he tries to share stuff. He blew his fan. Yeah, but he blew it up. Yeah, but he had millions of dollars. I didn't have millions of dollars. I was starting from scratch. I tried to do a startup. So this is kind of like the first, I'll show you the very first video I kind of did. And I posted this to the Apple forum back in the day. And then the very first time I posted to YouTube, they pulled it down for copyright violation. And I sent them a letter and said that this was a parody. And they put it back up. So that was fun. We did the beer show. I did some boat commercials. I did some election stuff. I did a fake music video. I've done a ton of stuff just trying back in the day. And everything. You know, you couldn't even monetize back then. Everything was so new. You just couldn't do it. Yeah, I wish I was a legend. You need to link it up. I'll link it up later. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in here. The thing is, I'm on 2 different computers, so they should have loved that. So here's the thing. I had spent in 2008. There were 2 businesses in the U.S. One was called Dignation. Well, no, one was called Revision 3. One was called. Oh, you want to see the music video? All right, I'll show that next. So one of the things was called Revision 3, and one was called Next New Networks. And so I started a third company. I got all their business plans. I don't know how I did it, but I live in Arkansas, in the middle of the country, but these are all East Coast and West Coast. With a lot of Google searching, a lot of, I don't even know how I got it, but I got everybody's business plan. I recreated it for myself, and the people that I was trying to get funding from said that YouTube was never going to be anything and that I was wasting my time. So I quit. Beer Utopia was pretty successful, but people wanted me to fly all over the world on my money. So I said, forget that, and had to shut it down because of the recession. But now I'm ready to get back at it. So, all right. So you wanted to see the fake music video. So I was in grad school at the time, and they said I could either write a paper or produce a video. So I produced a video. It was shot by a friend of mine. It was my weird time in my life. I was just divorced. Roommate living with me was a video producer. He went to film school, and we shot this video. So you'll enjoy this. Just don't make fun of me. All right, this must be an ad. Yeah, that's not the right one. Hold on. Here we go. Let me be your hero.
Would you dance if I asked you to dance? Or would you run and never look back? Would you cry if you saw me crying? And would you save my soul tonight? Would you tremble if I touched your lips? Or would you laugh? Oh, please tell me this. Now would you die for the one you love? Hold me in your arms tonight. I can be your hero, baby. Would you swear that you'll always be mine? Or would you lie? Would you run away? Am I in too deep? Have I lost my mind? I don't care, you're here tonight. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain. I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away.
Yeah, Jason, that's all lip sync.
Oh, I just wanna hold you. I just wanna hold you. Oh yeah, I'm in too deep. Have I lost my mind? Well, I don't care. You're here tonight. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain, oh yeah. I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away. I can be your hero. I can kiss away the pain. And I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away. You can take my breath away. I can be your hero.
That's right. That was Enrique Iglesias. I will always be your hero. Thanks a lot for the kind words. So I was very young. I was just in, I was in graduate school and my roommate was graduated from film school, and yeah, my friends came through. So my friend shot it. He is now a big time commercial producer. He's been doing it for years. The young lady there, she went to LA to become famous, and she actually ended up being on a few TV shows and things like that. She's married now and living in LA. That was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was better than writing a paper, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'll show you another one. So Vimeo, I think it's on Vimeo. Some of this, I've had so many things for so long. Let's see. I'm going to look this up real quick. So we did, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the 48-Hour Film Festival. So the 48-Hour Film Festival, you get a, let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, so we'll do this one real quick. All right. So I'm going to show this one right now. So 48-Hour Film Festival is, they get you everybody meets up and you get a team together and you go to a theater usually where they have it, and you get up in front of everybody and they have a hat or a bowl, and you draw your genre, your character, your prop, genre, character, and prop. Like everybody uses the same prop, everybody uses the same character name. And like Bill's a boxer, and he has a pencil. That's all you get. And then you draw a genre like action, comedy, buddy film. You have 48 hours to pull it together. So I'll show you this one now. This is the second year. We won some awards for it. I'll see if I can find the first year. But this is the second year that we did the 48 Hour Film Festival, and I'll let it run its entirety. This was made years ago. So I've learned a lot since then, but technology has gotten different, but I'm still proud of it. So here we go.
Look, we can do this all day. This is what I do for entertainment. What I want to know is, are you going to do it? It's one simple question.
I'll take it from here. Enough foreplay. Tell me who you are.
I am Claude Gascon, executive chef at the Peabody.
So that was the
I didn't
character that
say
everybody was
you
given.
came. I asked you who you are.
And the prop we had to use was a pencil.
What are you talking about?
I know you're a messenger for Rogue Wave.
I haven't seen or heard from Rogue Wave in over a year.
Well, you're about to, because I have a message for you to deliver.
There's the pencil. Foreshadowing.
Your mission? Deliver this.
I'll do this one last time if you promise to let me go back to a normal life. But here's the deal. I'll deliver your message, but you have to forget that I exist. Now, is that a deal?
Let him go.
So you have to source the locations, get the talent, everything in 48 hours. And this was 8 years ago, probably. DV tape. Not digital. Definitely not 4K or HD. So this is where we blew everybody's mind. Look at that. Nobody else had a
Amalgamated, this is
helicopter.
Raven 1. Target is on the move.
It was all done in
I have
3D
the target
studio.
in sight. Permission to lock and fire. Raven 1, fire in.
And we blew up the helicopter.
Yeah, let's.
So here's like behind the scenes.
Got this helicopter coming up, and there's a car, and a big chase scene, and maybe some swooshes coming in.
Quick.
You think we can do it in 48 hours?
Absolutely.
So one of my friends had a band, so he had the music. That's my wife, me filming. We had a lot of fun. Driving in the truck. All the Star stuff was shot there on site with the green screen. Oh, that was 2008. See there at the time. I think that picture right there, that's me and my wife. We've always been that way together. So we always work together hard to get the job done, and that's always been the way we've done. So that's cool. What was the question here? Was that last time the helicopter? Was that the last time that helicopter will chase that? Yep, that is the last time. You know, it was a lot of fun. If you, Washington probably has one. If you're in LA, almost every big city has one. It's called the 48-Hour Film Festival. They probably didn't have it this year because of COVID. You get a bunch of friends together, and you make a film in 48 hours, and you learn real quick. You learn. The reason I got into it is a friend of mine had a team, and he got in over his head, and he knew that worked in TV, so he's like, "Can you help me?" Then I went there, and it was way over my head, and I called my wife because she's worked bigger productions than me, and then together we kind of rescued that production. So then the next 2 years we had our own team. I've got some awards I'm going to be putting in the background over here that we actually won awards on, and it was cool. Let's see if I can find the other one. We did 2 years, and I don't know. Like I said, I have everything is everywhere from from that long ago. Everything's spread out all over the internet. Let's see here. Here it is. This one was called Nick of Time. This is the very first one we did. I'm still proud of that one. This one too. Same crew, same actor. That's my buddy Paul. I always use him as my lead.
No, Fridays are kind of wild.
I'll turn this up a little
It was fun. Thanks for walking me to my car. I'm a little bit scared of the dark.
No problem. Not only is it my job, it's my pleasure. Nick McRae, it's nice to meet you.
I actually know who you are. I used to watch you fight. You were unbeatable. I really miss seeing you in that ring.
That's
So the
funny.
character was a
I actually
boxer.
miss seeing the ring. It's kind of hard now with a detached retina.
Well, I came here tonight to meet you. I heard you were bouncing.
I don't know why you like to meet a washed-up
Nick
fighter.
of Time.
I am flattered.
Was
Do you mind if you change the subject?
But of
Right.
course.
I think the line
Why
of
is a
dialogue
woman
is
as pretty as you are
"Say it
alone
again, baby."
tonight?
So you'll see it here come up.
I guess I'm just not pretty enough.
That's not true. In fact, I think you're very pretty.
Really?
Of course.
Say it.
Say it like
that
you
I'm
mean
pretty.
it. That was the line.
You are pretty.
No, really, Nick. Say it like you mean it.
I just did.
Say it like you mean it, baby.
And we drew the sci-fi horror genre, so we had to make it creepy cool. That was my buddy Cliff, who does all the 3D animation and effects. He's also a big D&D sword player. He does all that cool stuff. And then I made my debut here.
You know, you might just want to be a little bit more quiet.
I won't make everybody
told
watch
you
it, but
That I
I'll
would be
put a link.
visited on my 25th birthday.
Oh, so you do remember.
So then
you might want to skip to the part where
Let's skip to the part where I have a fight.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
It's a plastic gun.
Happy birthday.
You had
What
to
the
use
hell
a
am I
birthday
supposed to do with
candle
this?
was the prop.
Look, I can only hold him back for so long. You have to remember, Do you understand?
We didn't have
You
enough-
have to remember.
Come on, Nick, think. Why would he give me a candle?
I'm an action guy, so I wanted to do. My goal in life was to be an action director and star. Thanks, Jason. It's very Highlander-esque, right? There goes the blood, which was chocolate syrup, because it was nighttime. It looked better than red. Yeah, it was. It was. That was one of my favorite movies, Highlander. I love Paul. Paul's always done a great job. My directorial debut.
There's nothing left, there never is. I'll be standing here waiting until my time.
So that was it. That's the only films I did. So that was kind of. It was a lot of fun. So I was young. God, we had a business since then and kids. I had 3 kids from a previous marriage when I met my wife, and we've had 2 kids, so 5 kids. You know, kids are, we got grandkids now, and I spent, oh, let me turn that off. I spent about, so we did 8 to 10 years. We had our own business, got a little burned out, and, hey, Jason, I saw your friend request. I am taking that now, accepting it now. So we got a little burnout. I made some moves in business that I took the big leap of faith to try to really get bigger and grow, and it failed. And lost some money, set me back financially a little bit, but psychologically it set me back a lot, and I kind of second-guessed all of my decisions after that, and then I just turned 50 this year. So I've been out of working for myself for about 4 years. I've had different jobs. I've tried different things. And a lot of it was just self-value and self-worth. And so now I'm reminding, the Vlogmas is my reconnection with my passion and a reconnection with that I don't need anybody's permission, that I can do this myself. And I have every tool and every skill. I've done it before. I can do it again and not second guess myself and give myself room to fail, give myself that room. So I went through about 4 years of deep, I was never medically determined that I had depression, but I had about 4 years of just deep depression. Then I just second guessed myself, all my decisions, didn't think I was worth it. I spent those 4 years at different jobs, listening to a lot of podcasts, reading a lot of books about value and worth and you can do it and all the mantras and meditation, and I've done it all, right? And it helped. A lot of it helped. I kind of worked myself out of the funk. COVID, she's a weird beast, right? I mean, it really refocused everybody's attention, and so and I really tried to take a restock and a focus of my life, and I just loved this. I love producing, I love video production, and I love connecting with you guys, the people in the chat, the viewers, the people that say I'm helping them or giving them a little bit of tips here and there. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. Look, it's 1:14 in the morning here, and I'm still going strong. I really enjoy this, and so I think I went into Vlogmas knowing that I have a job, I don't need to do this for money. I'm just doing this because I love to do it, and I want to get better at it. And my goal is I would love to be a content creator as my full-time job and get back to the passion that I had for video and art and design and production. And, you know, when you, over time, you know, you just, you know, you have kids and kids going to college and going to volleyball and soccer and karate and the bills and everything else. You just get, it's hard. You know, it's hard. It's hard for moms and dads. You know, you kind of lose your identity. So Vlogmas is a little bit of me coming back to find myself, I guess. I mean, I know who I am, but there was a point in my life where I knew who I was. I knew I was going to be the next Michael Bay. I knew I was going to be the next whatever. You know, I knew I was going to be the next. Jason says, yep. I knew I was going to be the best director. I was going to become famous. I was going to be discovered. And I worked my ass off every day. And I think my wife says it. She says something, you know, there's only so many times you can get the finger in the highway of life before you know, when you're driving. There's so many times you can get the finger on the highway of life that it just beats you down, and you can lose yourself if you don't keep it growing. Yes, you can, Jason. You can lose yourself for doing the right things, right? For taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, being there for everybody. And I think one thing I love about this community is there's a lot of guys, personally, there's a lot of men that are 50 plus, like me, that are still got their hustle game on, still trying to make something, still trying to recreate themselves. And it's hard. I think it's the worst part. We, at least Generation X, that's where I'm from, I'm 50, we're just very, very, very bad about communicating with each other about our feelings and our hard times, and we don't share. You know, you kind of have to bottle up. You can't, you know, you really can't share it with your wife. You can't share with your kids. You got to be strong for everybody. And you know, when I was in the military, you had a lot of, you know, you had friends and stuff, but you know, at some point you just, and in this arena, like, I'm closer to my virtual friends on Ecamm than I am with real friends, because nobody gets it. Nobody gets, why would you stream? Why would you do this? Why would you do this all night? I just want to go hunting and fishing or buy a big boat. I love doing this, and it's hard to explain to people, but these people get it, right? And Jason, just keep going. This is a great community. That's why I'm doing this. Let's all try to rediscover who we are. And if you, I mean, it's okay. You know, I am a, let's see. Jason says, I think we are moving into a new era. We are all getting out of that and connecting authentically with our world. You know, that's true. I think it's all about, like, what do you drive and how nice is your house? And now with Zoom meetings, everybody knows that everybody's house is just as messy as everybody else's house, right? You know, there's real life. I mean, there's kids and clothes and dishes, and I've done more dishes during COVID than I've done, because my kids, I get upset with them because they use 15 freaking plates a day. I'm like, me and my wife use one glass a day and one plate, right? But they're just stacking up the dishes. And, you know, so it's like, you realize, though, because everybody has the same problems. We're all going through the same things. We're all trying to put our kids through school on virtual learning, and we're trying to do our work, and then we're trying to have space for ourselves and space for our relationships with our loved one, you know, with our significant other, our husband and wives, and it's just hard. 2020 has been hard, and I hope, you're right, Jason, I hope that the one thing that comes out of this is we can all put it aside and say, you know what? I don't have to show up to work to get my job done. I can work from home. You don't know if I'm wearing a suit pants or sweatpants or shorts underneath below this video screen. Who cares? As long as you enjoy the content and the work's getting done, who cares? So I'm hoping that will work. Yeah, everybody has the same challenges, and the playing field is leveled. I do agree that. I do agree that the playing field is leveled. Rich, poor. The only thing that I do worry about is in our community in the South, here in Little Rock, Arkansas, is, minorities and people of color don't have access to technology and high-speed internet like other communities. And that scares me. But, we can just keep trying to fight that fight and move forward. People can be people again and separate our professionalism from who we are inside and separate our profession. People can be people again. And I think one of the things is you can say, maybe you don't have to separate. I can say, I'm Brant Collins. I am a marketing director for a credit union, but I'm also a Navy veteran. I'm also a father. I'm also a grandfather. I love streaming on the internet. I love playing video games. I love watching The Mandalorian. I'm a Democrat. I march with Black Lives Matter. What else? I mean, just all these things, and that's who I am. And I don't have to hide that. I can be all of those things. I have my craft beer show. I love streaming on the stream show. It's who I am, and you can either take it or leave it, And so there's a book by Chris Anderson called The Long Tail, which kind of got me started in all this. And so years and years ago, I read this book called The Long Tail that said, popular culture is the top 40, right? Back in the day, it was the top 10, the top 40 music. And then Walmart or Tower Records, back in the day, they only carried that top little sliver. But because they didn't carry Hungarian folk music, because there's only this small, long tail of people that liked it. But on the internet, there's 1 million people like Hungarian folk music. So if you're a Hungarian folk music producer, you can make money on the internet. And so I think to me, this is finally coming to fruition, the long tail. So the niche that we're playing in is, we're not black, white, Asian, right? Because I know everybody in this group. I'm part Filipino. There's African American men and women. I guess some Hawaiians and Filipinos and Asian. I mean, all these people in this Ecamm group, and that doesn't matter, is because we're in this niche of, we like to make live video and stream, right? And so some people are doing insurance sales, some people are artists, some people are homeschoolers, but we all have this one thing in common, and there's millions of us that are doing this little niche thing, and that's really what we have to focus, is find that little niche of the people that accept us and like us, and focus on that. We're saying the same thing. Yes, Jason, we are saying the same thing. I appreciate you, brother, for watching. It is coming up on 1:30. I'm going to bail out for tonight and maybe get back on. Well, I will definitely do my vlog post for tomorrow and do some thinking on everything that came out tonight. Thanks a lot, Jason, for hanging out. I think you're the last person to hang out with me. Love talking with you. I accepted your friendship on Facebook. Get to know you more and support each other. Come on and join the Vlogmas Challenge. Join the Ecamm groups. Let's see here. Jason says, the separation is separating the values. We used to tag on the titles when you boil all things down, it all matters. And one role doesn't define any better than another. It creates diversity, blah, blah. Creates diversity and things the value. Yes. John, that's right. It creates diversity that brings the value. It is the diversity. And the thing that there's so much strife right now in the world, or in the United States, with and I've said this for the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm going to say it here. I'll be political, and I don't care. that everything you see happening now is the struggling, last flailing attempts of the majority white culture that is losing ground and knows that time is done. And diversity is going to make us better. It's coming. It's changing. It works in. I'm a hobby farmer here, so I have chickens and plants and all that kind of stuff. We grow a garden, and diversity is the king, right? Diversity is what drives everything. You got to have a diverse culture and crops and everything else. So diversity will win in the end. We just got to put up with all the idiots. June says, nice. I didn't see you. And I knew you came back to us, June, but you're so quiet. We got to get June to be participating and start doing some video. I'm going to do my goal. By the end of Vlogmas, I want to do a live interview with June. We got to make that happen. Thanks again, June. Thanks again, Jason. Check out just everybody in the comments. Leave your YouTube or your Facebook if you want somebody to find that. Orlando, thanks for joining. I think he's gone now. His was DT. It was like I watched his videos. He does animation or illustrations and stuff. So I think he's great. Follow him too. Bring up the audio level a little bit next time. Bring up my audio level. Okay. I'm peaking on my end. So is that my level, June, or is that the playback level? My level. So you can help me out right here. So right now I'm hitting yellow on the Ecamm, and then on the board, I'm not quite peaking. I could bring it up even louder. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Check, 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 check. How's that? If you're still watching, June, let me know. Is that better? Because if that's better, I'll just leave it there. I hate being too loud. And sometimes I worry I use this older analog board and it starts to scatter and sound a little funky if I get too loud. Hopefully that sounds better. But yes, I'll definitely try to bring my volume up next time. Thanks a lot, June. And you know, one of the things I like about this group is everybody's giving you comments, giving you help. Sounds good over here now. Sweet. Perfect. Thank you very much, Jason. I will leave everything set the way it is. June says that's better. Thanks. A lot of it can be, too, how I'm in the mic or not in the mic. This is an old Sennheiser E85 that's part of a wireless kit. I think I want to upgrade. As I start upgrading, I'm going to get the M1 Mac Mini next. And then after that, I'd like to get the Lewitt white microphone just because I like the way it looks on screen. And I like the way it sounds. I think it sounds a little bit better than the pod mic. The Rode Podcaster pod mic. I think it's like they're both, one's 100, one's 150, but I like the way the Lewitt. It's a little hot. Sorry. Oh, see? Look at June out there. How's that? Let's see. Check. There's my master down. I'm going to leave that right here. Check, check, check. And a lot of it has to do, like I said, with the distance of a microphone. This isn't really a podcast. This is a singer's microphone, right? Interview microphone. So I'll get I need a new audio board. I like to get like the Rodecaster Pro. It's maxed out. You have no headroom. It's maxed out. You have no headroom. Check, 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 check. Okay. Well, I'll just have to keep tweaking with that. I also have the volume out on Ecamm. So there's a volume out on Ecamm, plus I have the volume on the board. So maybe I had the volume on, maybe I don't have enough headroom in check, 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 check. Check 1, 2. So I guess I'll just have to get listen to the audio monitor out of Ecamm because it's all analog going into, and I'm hearing everything, and I have my audio, I have everything kind of straight up. So try that. I think it's better now. All right, so what I did is I turned up the volume in Ecamm. So maybe that's it. You got to turn up the level in Ecamm, and then I have all my levels kind of set kind of halfway to mid straight up on the board. And like I said, it's an old board. I need to get some of that new tech. So next, M1 Mac Mini. Then I would like to get the Lewitt microphone, which is like 150. I just like the way it looks on screen, and I think it sounds really, really great. Then it would be Rodecaster Pro, so I could have all the sound effects and all that stuff. In June, we'll know that. Trying to understand, is everyone using Ecamm and Restream? I don't use Restream. I just use Ecamm, Jason. And the reason that is because I'm cheap. I haven't messed with Restream. My wife uses Restream at work. She just started doing a live stream there, and she's just doing it on a web-based. And I tried to convince her to do Ecamm because Ecamm's way better. But I could Restream to both channels, but I think that would have to do that with a paid account. And so I just haven't done that. And it's also just trying to keep up with one channel instead of two. Let's see here. Or does Ecamm stream the broadcast to the group? So you can pick the... Here, let me show you the demo mode, Jason. I'll show you the demo mode. So this is what you see in Ecamm. You can see here's my scenes. There's my audio that I was just talking about, setting that level there. This is the iPhone that I have plugged in, which is kind of cool. Let me turn that on real quick. If I go to the... Where did I do that here? Hold on real quick with me. Here's my LumaFusion scene, which is just me sharing my camera. I could actually take my phone and turn it into the video camera, and you can see the video camera. So there's me. Here's my setup. That's my laptop. My PC over here. That's let's do it this way. PC I made. I just built my first PC, so that's like an AMD gaming. There is my camera, which is like a production level camera. I have it's called a Cool Light up there. I kind of borrowed that from a job, a TV station I used to work for. Shh, don't tell anybody. Tons of C-stands. And I have, here's my set. And this is literally my workshop behind the house. So over there is a bunch of motorcycle projects and stuff. But who cares what it looks like this way, right? Looks good this way. All right, so that's the demo mode. I'm going to switch here. And so over here, you can pick your destination. So you can pick to stream to Facebook, YouTube, or Restream. There's a couple other places you can stream to. But if you... I think you have to have a paid Restream account to go to Restream and then tell Restream to go to Facebook and YouTube. That's kind of what everybody does. But I'm not about... And I totally get what Doc says about, $9 a month is nothing if you're taking this professional. And I will get there, but it's Christmas and I'm buying my kids presents first before I spend on me. But I don't feel comfortable yet trying to keep up with two streams, like the chat thing, like Facebook or YouTube. And then with, let me turn this off here. Let's turn this off. Options, live demo. Turn it off. I also, for my gaming channel, Twitch is oversaturated. YouTube is hard to get to the monetization part, which I haven't yet. And Facebook, I knew that Facebook gaming was new, and so I have more friends on Facebook, so I could instantly make my channels monetize because I already have that many friends and just tell them to go watch my Facebook. And so far, I've seen a lot of people that are on this Facebook group, so Facebook kind of works for me. But I will need to level up and probably get the Restream and do 2 streams at once. But again, I'm rocking an old MacBook, and I'm kind of waiting to get the new Mac Mini and kind of get all that situation figured out. But it's all about that money. So one of the things I'm doing is picking up some freelance work on the side, and once I just got a gig on the side. I got to do the paperwork, and that'll give me some extra income so that I can start investing more into the studio. I want to redo my table. I need to add some more shelves. I want to get some more monitors. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. I'm just saying I'm going to do it unless it's paid for, or I can pay for it with a job. That's just the way I roll. So, but we'll get there. But Ecamm is great, Jason. Let me see if I have this. What are you using now, Jason? Do you use anything to stream? Are you using Ecamm? Let's see here. I'm going to find it. If you use, I'm going to put this in the chat. If you're not using sorry, I'm trying to search something here on the web here. I gotta find this group. Let's see, groups. Use Restream. Okay. If you want to get on Ecamm, if you want to get on the Ecamm business, which is pretty good, I'm gonna leave this here. I should do this more often. This is my affiliate code. If you happen to get Ecamm and use my affiliate code, I might get a little bit of money. I've never done a lot of affiliate stuff, but I guess that's something I need to do more of. But I do like Ecamm, and if you're on a Mac, it's great. It was changed turning account. Okay. So I use StreamYard at work because we're based on PC, and I do a show at work. And the reason I was using Stream was because, number one, is because I was on a PC and it could do interviews. I'm a Mac guy at home. I wanted a Mac solution. I had Wirecast for Mac, but they killed. I had to upgrade it because I hadn't upgraded in a long time, and it was going to probably cost me about $300 or $400 to upgrade it to work again. And then vMix was another one I looked at, and it was like $700, and I just wanted to pay a $25 or whatever the subscription and try Ecamm. But now Ecamm has come out with, you have a Mac, but on my PC for my, okay. So what the Ecamm has come out with interview mode. So interview mode works just like StreamYard now. And I use StreamYard, and it's easy. It's just easy. It is what it is. Anybody can do it. It kind of has all that stuff. Restream's kind of the same way. Ecamm just lets you have more flexibility. You can do the overlays. You can do your own lower thirds. You can do all kinds of animations. It's a more professional product, in my opinion. Because you can control how you look. You can make everything look how you want it to make it look like. So that's why I use it. And I'm actually streaming. When I go to this scene here where you see my computer, this is a PC. So I have the PC feeding into the computer into my Mac because I use the PC to do video games. Call of Duty, you can't play Call of Duty on the Mac. So you can do multiple things. So if you want to do that, you're able to do it. Again, I'm a PC guy. I'm a Mac guy. I love my Macs. And right now with the new M1, getting really good reports from June's brother, Doc Rock, that, the base model M1 Mac Mini with 8 gigs can run this software no problem. If this is, and just kind of be your only streaming software. But Ecamm is great because you do have this customization. But I will tell you again and again and again, the only reason I'm paying the $25 a month is for this community right here. It's the community and it's the support, not only from, and not from corporate. Like, you know, they're there, they talk, they do everything, but it's this community. It's all these people that are chatting right now that are doing this together. I love what I see with StreamYard, but when I see Ecamm being turning out in these interviews, it's been impressed. Dude, Jason, it's about the community. It's the people. And so June that's been here commenting, he made the Vlogmas Open. He gave that free. There's a guy named Bradley. He teaches you how to make all your overlays in Keynotes for free. Doc Rock talks about TubeBuddy and how you can grow your channel. I think it's the community. It's really what it is. I used to work in Time Warner in production back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and he that. Yes, I did the same thing. So I worked in TV, broadcast, technical directing, editing, and I really feel like, and everybody says this, the only thing missing from Ecamm is a preview window. So a preview window would be great so you could set up a scene before you take it live. And you could see kind of what you're setting up. That's the only downfall I have with Ecamm, but I guarantee you they'll fix it because they're listening to everybody and everybody has said that. You need a preview window like a true switcher, right? But you have to realize, Jason, that for $25 a month, this thing does more than a $200,000 Grass Valley switcher that we used back in the 2000s, right? It does everything. Upstream key, downstream key, chroma key. You can add LUTs in it. If I wanted to make my camera look different, I can add LUTs. The green screen is flawless. Animations, movies, you can do anything you want. Does RM45 mean anything to you guys? RM450. Well, you know I'm Googling that stuff. June. RM450. You said RM450. I'm getting a dirt bike. Sorry. And I love dirt bikes. RM450. Just let me know. I don't know what the RM450 is. Is it video or production? TV. Nope. All I'm getting is motorcycles. Sony. Oh, editing control unit. Okay. Yes. Yes, I'm pulling it up right now. Here, let's pull this up here. PC. I've got to set up some better scenes in this damn thing. Boom. Is that what you're talking about, June? Yes. I learned how to edit on stuff like this. And in the hands of a good person, this is faster than anything digital. You just don't understand. Ins and outs. Do you remember? June's remember. Let's see if I can pull this up. Lightwave. Do you remember using the very first NewTek light? Not the 3D, but the actual NewTek box from back in the day. I didn't look like that. This was in college, but NewTek, the TriCaster, but before TriCaster, the NewTek was the thing, right? Yep. The NewTek. Man, I did Sony, Betacam, it was Betacam, SVHS, and I can remember, like, I had to do, I did a shoot for MTV, and they wanted Betacam, but I did it on my, like, Canon HD, video toaster. That's right. It was the video toaster. Let's look that up. That was the shit back in the day. The video toaster. Yep. Here it is. This is what we had in our college TV station. Oh, let's see here. There it is. That was my college days right there. That was the TV. That's what we did in TV. Plus I was what was the first live stream mini concerts back in the day shooting. Group Bare Naked. Hey, I remember the Bare Naked Ladies. I was P on the Shoot experience back then. Great job, Jason. I got hired actually to do. I've done MTV, CNN. I've done satellite trucks. God, we're so hard. So here's the funny thing. I remember doing live productions with the sat truck, a whole full crew, and then a few years ago, I did a remote show. I did some PR for a company. This is probably about 5 years ago, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna do a local." I got the local news station to do a live remote for a client of mine. Dude comes in with the backpack, with the live stream backpack. The anchor's using their iPhone and their hideaway earpieces as their IFB, and I was like, "Dang, things have changed." So. That's one of the reasons I'm shooting all my Vlogmas on this camera with this microphone, the Shure microphone. I can I could do a complete news. I could do my own news channel, local news channel, better, I think, than what they're doing with cameras and all the big stuff. So technology is great. And so Jason and June and my wife and me, we all have that old school work ethic and that old school since the kids don't know about lighting, they don't know about good audio. So, it's not all about bokeh and ring lights and a jib, or not jib, but a DJI Ronin, and gimbal. That's what I was thinking, a gimbal and a drone. Like today, everything's gimbal, drone, bokeh. That's it. So, gotta tell the story. Still got to tell the story. You got to tell a story. Got to edit that shit. You got to do the right stuff. But yeah, I remember this stuff right here was the bomb. It was high tech back then, guys. This just shows our age. We are getting old. I remember I was working at a TV station and I was the promotion producer for UPN 38, and they had a Avid Express, and that thing crashed. I hated Avid, and I was a Final Cut Pro guy, so I brought my own damn G4 Snow Globe iMac. I don't know if you remember those. It looked like a snowball with a monitor on it. I brought that into work, and I was cutting all of my stuff from my desk, and the head engineer came to me and said, "I hear you're editing all your shit on this toy." And I showed him. And he's like, "Yeah, we're getting ready to launch news. I need 2 edit stations built. Could you build 2 stations for $100,000? And I said, "Yep." And I bought 2 cheese grater Macs and put Final Cut Pro on them. I converted the news station and our production. And then I took another job. I converted them over to Mac. And I would say that I single-handedly converted everybody in Little Rock at that time to Macs. We were using the old cheese grater Macs and Final Cut Pro, and boom, you could do anything back then. Avid, yes, Avid sucked. I remember grabbing the E and G camera, grabbing footage and cutting together promos and B-roll. Yep, that was what I did. I did promo reels for, I can remember, it was Living Single, Martin, Girlfriends, all on UPN 38. That was the things that I had to do every day. Jason loves it. June says, "Ew, Avid." Yeah, nobody liked Avid. God, we just jumped in and did shit, right? And so when I ran a TV station, I could run everything on Final Cut Pro live, or live to tape. As long as I had a Mac with Final Cut, I could do anything. And so I would build shows. So what I was good at is my boss would come to me and say, "Brant, I want a new show by the end of the week." So I'd go in with my talent, and it was like news products, and we would shoot the show. We did virtual sets that looked real back then. My friend from the movies I showed earlier, he'd make them in a 3D studio, and we had a green screen room, and so it looked really, really good. And we'd lay out the format of the show. I'd block it out as a Final Cut Pro timeline. So I had my opens, my bumps, my breaks, my lower thirds. I had all that stuff, right? So it'd just be me and the talent, and we'd spend a week, and we'd work it out. I would do the show for a week or 2 weeks, and then we would hire people, like 3 people, to come in and take my place. So you'd have to have someone on the Final Cut, someone on the audio, and then a camera person. But I would do it by myself for a week or 2 to get it kind of going. And so that's what I did. I would come in, build it, get it started, then turn it over. So that's what I was good at, and that's what I want to get back to, right? And I've always said this. My wife hates it because she's, like, really good, right? She wins awards and stuff. She worked for A&E and History Channel and large production companies. And I always tell everybody, I'm good enough. Like, I learned in the TV business how to be good enough. Get that shit done. It's got to be out by 5. It's not going to look bad. It's not going to be stupid. It could be better, but it's going to be good, and it's going to get out on time. So what I'm good at is just good enough. Is that bad? But back in the day, that's what I got paid extra money for. They would hire me because I could make shit happen, right? I could make it happen. I could make it happen fast, and I could make it look good. So I miss those days. I miss being it. I mean, we ran live shows like this time of night. Live in Buffalo, I had a music video show, and we had live call-in shows, and you had to have people on a delay button because people were cussing. And look at you guys. You moved me almost to 2 o'clock. I'm cutting it down. I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't know. June's on Hawaii time. So here's another cool thing I'm going to tell everybody. So here, if you're going to join the Ecamm group, Jason, here's what you have to do. And this is what I had to do. So you go to your iPhone, and I should have left this connected, but I had to open up the world clock and put different cities in here so I could tell when everybody was awake. So it is 9:51 where June is, and you're in San Francisco time probably, so it's 12 o'clock where you're at. And I got to keep, it's 2 o'clock here. All right, man. I appreciate everybody here tonight. Thanks for hanging out. I made the mistake. This is it, Jason. I'm reading the last one. I made a mistake when I took out the equipment one day, and I had a filter set to wrong setting. Came back. Yes, we've all done that. Film look like shooting that stuff. You know what? We've all had, back in the day, I don't know if anybody still remembers the term double clutch. Do you remember double clutch? Is when you start the camera, stop the camera, start the camera, stop the camera, and you're doing an interview, and you mismatch your clutch. You're off when you're supposed to be on, and you get back, and it's all screwed up, and you have to go back and shoot it again. That was the worst. All right, guys. Peace out. Love you guys. I love everybody in this group. You guys are a lot of fun. I will see you. I will post Vlogmas tomorrow. Sunday night's usually a good night for me to vlog, or to live stream, so I'll probably do some live streaming tomorrow night. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Have fun. Get back to being creative. Join Vlogmas if you're not joining Vlogmas. All you ex-TV guys out there that are 50 plus that remember the toaster and the Sony whatever, the Sony RM450 reel-to-reel. Get to cracking. Make that shit happen. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.